I'm Paul Miles and you join me at TU-Automotive Europe 2015. And today I'm joined by Peter Pauwels, co-founder and head of product innovation at TomTom. Thank you, Peter. Thanks for joining me.
Good morning, Paul. Pleased to be here.
Firstly, can I ask about your specific role within TomTom today? What do you do?
Okay, what I do is I look after product innovation primarily on our consumer electronics side. Obviously, our consumer electronics products also build on all the good stuff we're doing in the mapping space and in the real-time services space. And our consumer electronics products tend to be a good way of demonstrating what our services and technologies can actually do. Given that product lifecycle in consumer electronics are obviously much shorter than in the automotive space, it's a fantastic way to test out these type of technologies in a nice consumer package.
Excellent. And this technology, how is it going to, or is changing and affecting the customer's experience? Where do you think this is going with the customer?
Well, I think for what's important for the customer, as we are moving to vehicles that are more connected, that become smarter, that rely more on sensors, where the level of automation of driving is going to go forward, customers will expect a high level of safety and comfort. They will want to trust the technology, and consumers will be open for that. But we need to make sure collectively as an industry that we deliver that. And we believe that maps are an important element in the mix of making that possible. What you need for that is a real-time map, a map of the world that gets updated in real time. And that's exactly what we have built and we are making available to the market and ultimately making available to drivers around the world.
So obviously this is about a business proposition, and where do you think the big commercial opportunities lie, both for car makers and first-tier providers like yourself?
Well, I think the path to automated driving and ultimately autonomous driving, it's there and it's going to happen. In fact, it seems to be happening quicker than we all thought. And if you understand that, if you realize that in a not too distant future, vehicles will be driving around fairly automated way or completely automatic way, that will have a deep impact on how we move ourselves around. Then we can start thinking about car sharing schemes or multimodal travel in a completely different way than we do today. And there are a couple of tremendous challenges that will need to be solved in that space. But that is where a lot of opportunity is. How we move from A to B around the globe is a very, very big thing. And we are now at the dawn of a new age where thanks to these type of technologies, these things will change. And the ones who get it and who find the opportunity to go there, they will become really big in this space.
But with those opportunities come challenges. We've already seen a certain reluctance with the technology, existing technology, on the use of the owners of those vehicles. Various studies have shown that 70% don't use any of the technology they have in their cars. How are we going to address that ignorance stroke reluctance as a challenge in the future?
Well, it is at the end of the day, for all of us as individuals, it is about the benefit that we get out of it. So maybe the answer to that 70% of people not using that technology is there is insufficient benefit in there. What we're talking about here are user experiences that are clear benefits in terms of having more efficient ways of paying for your travel, being where you want to be at the right time in the right space. Those things are clear benefits and that will drive adoption. And never forget, there should also be a kind of an emotional aspect to it. It should be fun. The feeling that you're sharing with people, the feeling that you're doing something good for the globe also helps. But fundamentally, the benefit needs to be clear. And probably a lot of the industry has been driven too long by technology push instead of clear pull from the consumer, bringing real benefits that people enjoy, like, and are prepared to pay for.
Fair enough. And obviously the area with this connected car is quite a broad area. It covers telematics, mobility, and leading to the autonomous vehicle. But out of all that broad area, if you had to pick two topics today that are, you would say, the hottest topics, what would they be? From the seat where I am in, that is definitely automated driving. It is fascinating to see how that's accelerating, how quickly that is coming towards us.
And then of course on the connectivity side, the telematics side of things, how we bring community probe data, user-generated input, how we bring real big data to this whole area, and that is another hot topic. How are we going to deal with that? How are we going to deal with those massive amounts of data? How are we going to make sense out of it? And how are we going to translate that at the end of the day back into benefits for consumers? Whilst at the same time, of course, being sure that stuff is secure and we keep things private where they need to be private.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, obviously the technology has moved on quite a bit in the last 5 years. The next 5 years, is it going to be more of the same, or will it accelerate even harder in terms of development of new technology?
I think we will see a tremendous acceleration after a long period where the world of the fast-moving world of consumer tech and high tech and the automotive world, or the mobility space, didn't really overlap. We are now starting to see that overlap happen. With the Ubers and the Zipcars and whatever you have of this world. And that will drive such an amount of innovation that we know from that space into the automotive space. A lot of the problems that we solve are turning into software problems. Things that can move at a much faster rate than traditional technology can. So I see that changing rapidly. We will see new participants enter, we will see new opportunities. Exciting times ahead.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you very much, Paul.